Now, people, the defense team for Constable Noel Maitland, the boyfriend allegedly behind the disappearance of social media influencer Donna Donaldson, sought to establish that a taxi driver or a stalker may be the actual culprit. Maitland is currently on trial in the Home Circuit Court for murder and preventing the lawful burial of a corpse in connection with the young woman's murder. Sophia Lugg, Donaldson's mother, earlier testified that Maitland had picked up her daughter from her home on July 11, 2022, and that she last spoke to her the following morning, but that attempts to reach her after failed. However, Townsend, during the cross-examination this morning, questioned the mother about Donaldson's use of taxi service and the number of companies she would use. He first asked Lugg if she was aware of a particular taxi company that her daughter would use, but the mother indicated that her daughter did not use that company. She used several, he asked. She used 3, she answered, naming the companies. The mother admitted that her daughter used a specific driver to move around, but said she did not tell the police about that. Lugg also testified that her daughter would do deliveries 2 to 3 days per week. Christopher Townsend also inquired from the mother whether she was aware that her daughter was promoting business on Instagram and had pictures in which she was modeling swimwear and lingerie. Lugg said she knew, while pointing out that her daughter also had videos. Has she complained to you that persons were looking at her page and made uncomfortable sexual comments? Townsend asked. No, sir, she added. Or stalking? Townsend added, to which Lugg answered in the negative. She never complained about anything like that, the lawyer probed. No, sir, Lugg said. People, wanna hear what the lawyer questioned the mother about? Instagram, business, lingerie, swimwear, and taxi company, taxi service. That the lawyer questioned the mother about. Right, yeah, so. But you know enough of the question still. Me I go play one voice note now because people still are advocate for Donaldson. I just hope say the mother get justice. Because what I know, after 3 years, 3 years, them a implicate taxi man and when him Stalker now. Them the time they when she just missing. Why nobody never talk about Stalker or taxi man? Why I just know? Yo, Jano, you, me I tell you say that system, you know, normal, you know. Anyway, me could listen to voice note because me say people still advocate for Donaldson.
This is a blast from the past. Because we don't left people, we don't leave no stone unturned, So when them feel like certain case becomes a cold case and people can get away with it, it's not going to happen. We're going to keep bringing them up so the judicial or justice system in Jamaica do right by these family. On the screen here, you have a beautiful queen, Miss Donna Donaldson, 24-year-old at the time of her demise. On July 11, Miss Donaldson was in the company of a JCF officer by the name of Noel Maitland. Contacted her family knew her whereabouts. On July 13, Miss Donaldson was reported missing after not coming home the 11th or the 12th. Upon police investigation, they went and they searched Mr. Noel Maitland apartment, where they discover forensic evidence of blood belonging to Miss Donaldson. The investigation suggests that Miss Donaldson was murdered on July 12, 2022 between the hours of 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. People, up until now, 2 years after, this court case is still going on. And up until today, Mr. Noel Maitland has not give up the whereabouts of Miss Donaldson's body. Several pleas from parents of Miss Donaldson just to put their mind at ease, just to tell them where Miss Donaldson's body is so that they can put her to rest up until now. And the reason why I'm bringing up about this case is, one, it needs to be solved because there are evidence pointing that Noel Maitland murdered Miss Donaldson. DNA evidence is there. Now, every time Mr. Maitland goes to court, there's a different thing. Now, as a police officer, Mr. Maitland knows exactly what to tell the lawyers to do or say. Now, when it comes to the JCF officer in Jamaica, or the JCF officers, or even the JDF officers, whenever they committed a crime, it takes forever to convict them. Mr. Maitland is not convicted and sentenced up until now. Mr. Maitland has not given up the whereabouts of Miss Donaldson's body so the family can be at peace. And it's an ongoing thing. Now we're calling on the judicial system of Jamaica. We're calling on the DPP office to make sure that Mr. Maitland get the proper sentence that he deserves and stop dragging out this case. Because whenever there is anybody else of the public who has a case, they are sentenced just like that. And you have a case like this, where there's DNA evidence to show that Miss Donaldson was murdered. The evidence stated that she was murdered between a certain time, a certain hours. And up until this very day, Mr. Maitland is charged for the murder, but is not convicted. And there is proof that this young lady was murdered. Jamaica, we now left Miss Donaldson behind, you know. You hear me I say? We now left Miss Donaldson behind. We are going to advocate for Miss Donaldson. We are going to make sure wherever her spirit is, she can see that people is advocating for her. We're not going to leave her behind. And these are the things that we do. We leave certain cases behind. Right? And then we don't know what happened to the suspects in these cases, especially when these suspects are law enforcement or persons in the security forces. Now we're calling on the DPP office to prosecute Noel Maitland and convict him and sentence him for the murder of Donna Donaldson, and stop waste taxpayers' money for Maitland sitting in jail, not giving any information on the whereabouts of Miss Donaldson's body. I'm telling you, the justice system in Jamaica is not fair. The justice system in Jamaica is not fair. It is unfair. And when it comes to members of the security forces, they can get away with just anything. This young lady had a bright future, and her life was taken. And there's no justice for it. Bloggers, I call on you. All the bloggers I call on. Let's not turn a blind eye to this. Yes, it's a cold case, but let's go back on this. Let's advocate for this young lady. Let's advocate for this young lady. Her life worth something just like any other lives. Noel Maitland need to face the consequences of his action. Right? He needs to face the consequences. So the DPP office, we are calling on you. We're calling on the DPP office in Jamaica to revisit this case and make sure Mr. Noel Maitland is whole accountable for this. And stop drag out the cases when it comes to members of the security forces. Why poor people in Jamaica have to suffer when it comes to their family members being killed? But when it's the rich and when it's somebody in certain power, the justice is swift. I just want to say to the mother and father and family members of Donna Donaldson, we no forget her. We no forget her. And we not go forget her. Because again, we're going to advocate for her. Even in death, we're going to advocate for her and make sure her killer gets whatever he's supposed to get.